Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was the veteran safety, Malcolm Jenkins, who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a second straight play right at the line of scrimmage. The Texans send the punter out. Back deep is Darren Sproles. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Let's go.
A first carry now for Wendell Smallwood. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Dancing to his left. And Jeffrey's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Nice movement there by Carson Wentz outside of the pocket. Completes another pass. Help me out here, partner. He's not sneaky athletic. He is athletic. How many times do I have to say it?
Yeah, you've been making that declaration for a while. And at 6'5", he ran a 40 of 4.77. So not only big, but he can move.
That's a good time for a quarterback. He and Andrew Luck, similar physiques, similar athletic ability.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Wentz going to throw. Ertz has it left side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Wentz now on 1st down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation,
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Houston's offense taking the field again, and they were one of a few teams last week that really got an important, maybe season-changing win. You know, Pittsburgh had one, the Vikings had one, but the Houston Texans, a team that could have dropped to 1-4, but they won in OT against Dallas.
And you remember in preseason, I thought Atlanta would go to the Super Bowl. They're at 1-4, and they're really struggling because of injuries as well. Houston was another team that I said would be greatly improved and could be a surprise team, and they're starting to hit their stride in the AFC South. Got to overtime with Dallas, backed up on their own 10-yard line, and Deshaun Watson leads the drive for the game-winning field goal. How about the throw he made to DeAndre Hopkins, and how about the run after catch, where Hopkins became a whirling dervish twice to pick up big yardage and set up Fairbairn for the game-winning field goal. Look out now. They can get to 500 next week at home against Buffalo, and before what could be a huge game at Jacksonville in Week 7.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Philadelphia's offense taking the field here again. They got some tough news on October 8th after the Week 5 game. Jay Ajayi, torn ACL. So what does that do now for the Philly run game?
Well, ostensibly everyone would just move up a spot, and they would still feel pretty solid about how things are going. But the other guys have been banged up a little bit, too, along the way. Corey Clement, who was the undrafted free agent who caught a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl last year, he's been battling some injuries. So is Darren Sproles. Remember, they lost him for much of last season on their run to the Super Bowl. He's been beat up a little bit. Wendell Smallwood has been getting the bulk of carries and bulk of plays. Had a touchdown against Minnesota last Sunday. He may have to be the primary ball carrier in the near future.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the red zone now, Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Come back.
Here's Watson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
CD, let's kick back to Week 5 for a second. That Minnesota-Philadelphia game was one that both teams, they needed. I mean, they didn't anticipate being in the spot that they're in right now. But Philly loses, and they're now 2-3. It'll be interesting to see where they go from here.
And you hate the stat, especially if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but it remains clear.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
82.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Steps away to his left. And this is caught at the 8. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. He got 29 yards that time. They'll run with Smallwood. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now.
And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar from 3 yards out. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Now, a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Allow me to sidestep for a second after the incompletion, CD. Let's talk about the rookie quarterbacks, because just last week we were talking about them going 0-4. But this past weekend, 4-0 for the rookie QBs.
Remember that seesaw we used to jump on when we were kids? You're up,
you're down.
Well, this week, they are way up. Sam Darnold and the Jets take out the Broncos. Baker Mayfield and his Browns in overtime. The fierce Ravens pass rush is foiled. And how about Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills taking the measure of the Tennessee Titans, who are off to a 3-1 start? And Josh Rosen, his 2nd start in the NFL.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. The Texans, and they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is caught, and the fake will work. He's going to have a 1st down. Give him an even 20 yards there on the pickup as a fake punt fooled everybody. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Tiger. Come back.
On 1st and 10, Watson going deep for Hopkins. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. They find some open field here.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Now he'll escape to his right. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion, or even worse, an interception.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The quick slant, good for a 1st down, a gain of 12.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run for it with Smallwood. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Wendell Smallwood taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Brandon Graham in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A shotgun snap for Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's letting this one go. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 57 yards. And the Texans draw a bit closer. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they... Throwing on first is Wentz. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him for a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Working from the gun, Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Wentz now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. And Matthews has it right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Wentz now 14 out of 17, 82%. And it's 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. Forced out to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz going up top. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Now Wentz on third down. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Back deep for the Texans is Tyler Ervin. And here comes the Texans now. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Come back, come back. Set. Green the line. Green the line.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Red. Green the line. Green the line.
To throw is Watson. Chris Long. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11. Here's a give to Miller. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
And he'll lay it out and pull it in.
What a diving catch there. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Watson. Oh, he spins again. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Watson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. Like you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. They'll buy some time right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 46. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. While we have a second on that incompletion, we got to talk about Linval Joseph.
Yes,
64-yard interception return for a touchdown, and then you saw him on the sideline with the glasses and the oxygen mask after.
Yeah, when you're talking about lugging not just a football, but probably about 350 pounds down the sideline and scoring. But how about the contrast? Marcus May, the defensive back for the New York Jets, he gets a pick in the end zone, brings it all the way back, but this is the last play of the game. And Cortland Sutton, the rookie out of SMU for Denver, knocks him out of bounds before he can score. 104 yards and no touchdown. Linval Joseph at least got the touchdown to earn the oxygen and the shade.
Well, when he was going down the field, he was in Philly. I was in Atlanta. My couch was shaking. No question. Watson on 1st down. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
throw on second is Watson. Underneath for Miller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Eluding the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with third and just a yard.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be first and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Now Watson. Buying time, fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they had it there so close to the goal line, a chance to take it across, claim the lead here in the fourth. Boy, that was a big, big mistake.
It really was, and as much as I want to give credit to the defense for making the play, I do tend to agree with you. That mistake, that's a chance to go in and take the lead. I mean, you're in great shape, yet you don't take care of the football. But they'll be going over that like crazy in the upcoming weeks.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
A run, it's Clement. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him 3 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in, even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so quick. Now the ball comes loose, but I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. First down, a run with Smallwood. They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now is the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Flushed out right. He gets away from 1. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
To throw is Wentz. Dancing to his left. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Steps away to his left. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On the carry, here's Clement. And he spins past him and into space. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. 29 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
And now out comes Houston. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup. 56 yards. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Come back, come back.
Here's Watson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Richmond, Richmond. Tiger, Tiger, Tiger.
From the red zone now, Watson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Great 15, great 15. Here we go.
Wentz to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Watson. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. The veteran Rasul Douglas able to break that one up. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Tiger, tiger, tiger.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Watson now to throw. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game.